Mike Bohn here in Abu Dhabi with TJ Dillashaw, just days away from UFC 280. We are here, man. How does it feel to be back in a title fight week?
Feels good. Kind of a little bit eye-opening again. I forgot how much media is involved in it, right? Because I came back and fought Sandhagen at the Apex Center, so it was pretty quiet. Didn't really have to do much. It's towards the end of COVID. The world's back to normal again, and so we could do a bunch of media. And got my schedule sent to me this week. I was like, oh shit, that's right. I got to do all this. Especially because I've been out here for 10 days, so I felt like I was out here for fight week, but I had nothing to do. And then when UFC got here, I had a bunch to do, and so it was kind of like, that's right, let's promote this thing, let's do it.
Maybe one of the parts of being champion you don't miss?
Yeah, I guess so, right? I mean, but I got to remember to have fun with it, right? I think Cub Swanson sent me a text message when I was wishing him good luck for his last fight, that he's like, hey man, we only have so many of these left, make sure you have fun with it. It's like a good reminder, that like, one day this will be over and no one's going to want to talk to you again about it, you know what I mean? So just soak it up right now.
Does this feel like a historic moment for you? I mean, you can join Randy Couture. It's the only fighters in UFC history to have 3 title reigns in a weight class. Like, this is really special stuff.
Yeah, man, just continue to make records,
You have many of them, most wins, knockouts, bonuses, like you're just, stacking them up. When I was looking through, it was crazy to kind of see everything you've accomplished, and it seems like you still have so much more room to grow.
Especially with how inactive I've been, right? Like I hold all those records and I haven't fought that much at all, even like, so I won the belt in 2014, and when you win the belt, the fights are so spread out. You fight hopefully twice a year, sometimes once a year, and then layoffs and injuries. I mean, haven't been that active and still holding on to them. So I got guys knocking on the door like Chito Vera that I got to get out there and get some knockouts. So I got to get a knockout here on Saturday before Chito gets his next one.
Does it feel like it's only been one fight in 3 years at this point, or does it feel like it's been more activity than that somehow?
It feels like it's been more activity because of how much I've done my fight camps, right? Like when I fought Sandhagen, I actually did like 2 or 3 fight camps leading up to that one because people were talking about like ring rust, and ring rust is something you let happen if you let it happen, right? So I just went through a few training camps for that one, which I did the same with this one because of the layoff because of the knee, right? So I did like a mock training camp, took some time off, and then got back into a second training camp.
What's the, demeanor like with Aljamain right now? A lot's been said in the past few months, a lot of from him particularly, but, do you feel on fight week, like if you were to see him right now, would there be, bad energy? Would there be some resentment, some hate? How would you kind of describe it right now? I've
never been a guy that's held on to it or had the animosity to want to, fight someone in the street. I've always been the guy that's like, I'm going to fight when we get paid. I'm going to do it. I'm a professional. I'm going to do it the way I'm supposed to do it. And he can run his mouth all he wants. I mean, to be honest, I think it shows some insecurities, and it's really just kind of he's too into social media, man. I mean, it's kind of a joke.
He's been getting a lot of hate this week, posting photos with Andrew Tate and stuff. Have you seen any of this?
I mean, someone else has mentioned it now in an interview that's brought that up, but I don't even know what's the big deal about that at all either. Like, why is that getting hate for it? I don't know. Yeah,
I think there's, he maybe has a bit of a checkered past and stuff, and then posting photos together. I think that's kind of what came up, but I don't know too much about the whole Andrew Tate thing.
I have no idea. So, I mean, I can't really weigh in on it other than the fact that, live your life, be a champ, do what you got to do while it's gone, because it's about to be gone here soon.
You mentioned, you don't hold that resentment, and you've kind of learned to let things go. Was there a turning point where that happened? I mean, I know there's, back in the day, all the stuff with like Team Alpha Male, and it seems like drama's kind of followed you a lot throughout your career. What allowed you to change that mindset and be able to be like, no matter what's said, written, anything like that, I can just be free, be myself?
Just experience, just being, that's the name of the game with our sport is drama, right? Some more than others. I think a big turning point was for me was when I fought Dominic Cruz. I won the belt against Barao, defended Soto, defended Barao. Then I had to fight Dominic Cruz, and there was some media behind it, and he just like talking mad trash, and I hadn't had to deal with that yet. You know what I mean? So I was like, the first time he got under my skin, and I went out that fight. Still believe I won that fight, but tried to knock him out. Like from the get-go, tried to kick his head off, And I kept the fight too close because of it. And then learned through that fight that I'm a better fighter when I have fun. Justin Buchholz talked me into having fun back when I was fighting Mike Easton. Had fun with the fight, did great, carried that into the Barao fights and the Soto fight and the Barao rematch and performed greatly. And then as soon as I got tense and started fighting with animosity, I was a step behind, it felt like, compared to what I normally am. And so I just kind of was like, all right, I knew who I need to be on fight night. I need to make sure I'm out there having fun, talk all the shit you want, get so involved in me that that's all you can think about. Well, I'm just going to perform and show off for the crowd.
When I came to visit you at your gym a few weeks ago, this is before all these bantamweight fights played out, and I went back and watched it, and you pretty much nailed them. You picked Aldo, which is wrong against Merab, but you picked Cheeto, who won. You picked Sandhagen, who won, and I believe you think Jan is going to win on Saturday as well. Has kind of this division unfolded as you thought it would? What do you think of it now compared to 2 months ago before we saw all these fights?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, unfolding the way I thought so, other than Aldo. I was looking to get this belt back and fighting a legend like Aldo because it's Jose Aldo, you know what I mean? But I understand why he's stepping away. It's another run at it. It's a hard weight cut and tough division, and he's been around forever, so it makes sense. But yeah, the weight class is unfolding the way I expected.
Dana White did some media this week. He said he thinks that the winner of this fight between Jan and O'Malley fights the winner of you guys. Is that something that excites you, the possibility of fighting one of those two?
Absolutely, man. I mean, Jan's a killer, the way his demeanor and the way he fights, and then O'Malley, he's a great salesman, right? He does a great job of puts in a lot of work to be who he is as a personality, and he's got some great time. I mean, I'm giving the guy a chance. I think Jan wins, but I'm definitely giving him a chance.
How do you win?
I'm gonna finish him. I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna, he doesn't have the gas tank. He doesn't have the full, well-rounded skills. I'm just gonna rely on some small skills that he's good at that I don't think are gonna be an issue for me, and I'm gonna break him by just being on him all the time, the constant pressure, and then finishing him.
Thank you for the time, TJ. Looking forward to it, and best of luck with the rest of the week.
Thank you very much, man.